Hello everyone, I'm Kelly, but I write under the pen name K.M. Rice, and today I'm going to talk about the differences between being a writer and being a storyteller. Now obviously, like everything on this show, this is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. What that means, I don't actually know. As you know from my introductory episode, I've had this need to entertain people since I was born. I don't know, was I funny when I was an infant? Probably. Funny looking. Like many people, I did not actually have the confidence to be a writer professionally. I was born and I started writing, and that's just kind of how my life went. It was a piece of me, it was a part of me, it was something that I did because I had no other choice. It is something that I did and continue to do for fun, but also because I do not know any other way to exist other than to write and to tell stories. I was a college freshman when one of my professors asked me what my major was, and at the time it was radio, television, film. And I was really struggling with how involved do I actually want to be in the filmmaking process, because I had realized then, at 18, I was a little bit of a control freak, and that wouldn't be the greatest quality for a director to have. Actually, arguably, it could be the best quality for a director to have. But I didn't want that level of stress all the time, but I needed to tell these stories. And one of my professors, who was actually teaching me the ancient Mediterranean in the Bronze Age, did the Trojan War ever really take place? Yes, that was the title of the class, and it was awesome. She said, "You know, you're a very good writer, I wonder if you should be an English major." So I looked through the course catalog, saw that all the classes that you needed to take to be an English major appealed to me, and plus it's a broad major, so if you don't know exactly what you want to do in life, because who the fuck does, then it's a good option for you. So I decided to become an English major, and I never regretted it. However, I realized that this creative writing thing, this storytelling thing, people liked it. And if I wrote a piece and people responded to it well, they wanted more. At the time, my university had several short story writing competitions, and I figured, why the heck not? I'll enter something in it. And I submitted a story, and at the time I was competing against graduate students as well as undergrad students. They've since differentiated it. And I won against people in the graduate creative writing program. I won $500, which is, to me, is still a big deal. I wish I could win $500 just today, but I can't. It's not in a contest. Unless someone wants to randomly give me $500, that would be weird. Right? I would take it though. At that point, I had a very notoriously tough creative writing teacher, and after I won that contest, I asked him, "Do you think I should consider grad school for this?" And he kind of choked on his water as he was drinking it and said, "Absolutely." And I thought, alright, there's a sign. The Snape of the department said I should go for this, so I'm gonna try. And very, very fortunately, thank you to the state of California, I applied to a grant and I received it, and that's how I was able to go to grad school for creative writing. So, I now have a Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing. And what I learned doing that program was, well, many things, but one of which being the different ways that people write. There were a lot of people in the program with me who had a beautiful grasp of language. I would read their writing just to be dissolved into their words. However, when it came time to discuss what actually happened in the story, wasn't really anything. Maybe a guy moped around that his girlfriend left him and walked down the street. And that's all that actually happened. But the words they used to describe it were very captivating. Those people were excellent writers, and what they needed to work on was storytelling. Then there were other people who I feel like I fall more into this category, though of course you strive to be a balance between the two, who were born storytellers. So I entered the program as someone determined to tell entertaining stories, and perhaps what I needed to learn was to slow down a bit and to actually make sure that you put a lot of meat on the bones of the story. I highly recommend, if you're interested in writing, beginning with screenwriting, because the only elements of storytelling that you can use in screenwriting is dialogue and action, so you are forced to do the bare bones of the story, and it will cement into your mind a 3-act story structure. When you apply that then to fiction, or prose, you will have a firmer grasp on what needs to happen and how to drive the plot forward and how to create characters and situations where stuff happens. This is another one of my nice tops that I bought that I've never worn yet. It's having its debut right now in front of a video audience, because again, I don't go out. Where am I gonna wear this baby to? A con? Don't think so. I ain't wasting this on a con. That came out wrong. What I actually meant was, I'm not wasting a con on this. Not when I could be wearing a hardcore graphic tee of my choice. God. No idea where I'm going with any of this. I don't even remember anything I just said. I was talking about writers versus storytellers. So I identify as a storyteller, and I don't believe that all writers are storytellers and not all storytellers are writers. Obviously, you can be a writer and you can write nonfiction, and you can write poetry, and you can write pieces, you can even write technical hand manuals, and you're a writer. You can write your blog, you can write articles, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're telling a story. However, at its basic element, all forms of communication are stories, but that's getting kind of, not Freudian, that's getting kind of Jungian, and we can cover that another time if people are interested. So there you have it. Not all writers are storytellers, not all storytellers are writers. My goal has always been to try to blend the two. However, your goal might be something completely different. Though I do think it's important to recognize this distinction, because once you know that about yourself, you can work on the sides of your writing that aren't the strongest, and you can start improving those weak points by doing prose exercises or just telling yourself, okay, remember, describe the setting more, or there's room for some lyrical qualities in this piece and I haven't given it to them, or perhaps this is beautiful writing and I'm married to all these sentences but nothing's happened. And remember, the goal is to entertain in some way, whether by engaging with beautiful sentence structure, which is a niche audience, but it's there, or telling a compelling story that's gonna connect your imagination as the author with the imagination of your reader. And that's a sacred, special, special thing. You just got really deep there. Wearing glasses without lenses. So there you have it, folks. Hopefully this has helped enlighten you with some distinctions between writers versus storytellers. Now, if you have a certain subject you'd like me to talk about or questions you'd like to ask me, please feel free to leave them below in the comments. And remember, I'm all over social media. Just Google KM Rice, and you can reach me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Tumblr, and I welcome feedback, and I'm always trying to engage with readers, so go for it. Until next time, me and my pedo glasses are signing off. So what's the point of this? Writers versus storytellers. If you're an asshole, though, I reserve the right to block you. Alright. Let me do that again, because that got weird quickly. My brain sort of stops functioning. Actually, I want to cover this in another episode, delete all that. And today, I'm going to talk about... Sorry. And anyway, being mature here. What was I going with this? Oh yeah.